Are you on a health journey for the new year? Have you been looking for nutritious and delicious health food substitutes and cannot find it anywhere in town?
Well, we've got good news for you. Raquel Imports proudly presents a new Soya Pack line of products, which includes soy-based milk options and meat substitute, 100% caffeine-free corn coffee.
What?
Yes, you heard that right! 100% caffeine-free corn coffee and much more.
This can't get better than this!
These products are now available for immediate purchase at Raquel's Imports, located at 3A Street, Kings Park, Belize City, and coming soon to a store near you. Direct message our Facebook page or call us at 611-0601 for more details.
Soya Pack,
a healthier option for you.
Episode of your number one health program, whichever platform you're watching us from, Facebook, YouTube, or Channel 98. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we are in a different location, and yes, we have a special guest with us this morning. We have Miss Aislinn Murrillo, not a strange face, and of course, I have my co-host, Miss Jemima Arnold, joining me on set today. Before we continue, Miss Aislinn, how are you today?
I am doing quite fine.
Doing well. We see your face a lot on You Come Alive, right?
Right. It's very hot, but I'm doing fine.
And yourself, Miss Jemima?
I am
Good. Well, we're in for a treat, or you're in for a treat today, because we have a very exciting discussion. What are you good at is the question I'm going to ask. Are you good at drawing? Are you good at singing? Are you good at painting? Are you good at giving monologues? Today we'll be tapping into a little bit, we'll be learning a little bit more about Miss Aislinn. And we know her as a school counselor. We know her as one of the hosts on You Come Alive. You know, we see her face a lot, but there's something that you don't know about Miss Aislinn. She is very, very artistic. And we're going to learn today a little bit about her, but also we'll be learning a little bit about how art helps us with our mental health. You may be having question marks at this time, but let me tell you, by the end of this program this morning, there'll be a lot that you will be able to learn. All right, Miss Aislinn, tell us, your passion for art, where did it start?
Well, I have to give all credits to Miss Rosanelle Craig, because that's where I originally started to, I mimicked a program that she did, and from there it just danced away. And so it was from her that I fell in love with the art of writing monologues. So my art is writing. It's not the best writing. I don't write good. I always need somebody to edit my work. But the art of writing.
Nice. And I know Miss Jemima as well. When we think about art, one disclaimer. When we think about art, we always think about, oh, if you could draw, things like that. But art encompasses many different variations of creativity. And I want Miss Jemima to share at this time. I know you have a different type of art that sometimes we get to see on ATN. Share with us, where did your passion for the art of singing or art of music started?
Well, I will definitely say from church.
Okay.
Yes, definitely it was from church, from a baby. And I am sure that it was something that I was blessed with, because it's the thing that I do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. And sometimes I think, we take simple things like these for granted. Like, God is so amazing. How is it that he blessed us with? He blessed me with this, he blessed you with that, he blessed somebody else with something else that we are not able to do. And I think that it is truly amazing that everybody has their own talent, their own gifts.
I like that you said that, because a lot of times we get our degrees, and there are things, degrees, we put a lot of time, a lot of effort into it, in getting it. We're passionate about it, but there's something different about the art that we're blessed with. There's something different about the talent that we're blessed with. I feel like there's more. Your talent says a lot about who you are, you know, and I feel like you're more passionate about a talent sometimes than your real job, you know, and I know there's nothing wrong with this, because the field of art is one that it can become your job.
Right.
It can become your job, you know, and so we should never think that, oh, art is just another thing for pastime. Your art tells who you are.
Yeah. You know, Chantel saying that, I'm thinking about my art, and then I'm thinking about high school. I used to see my grades for creative writing, and it was the most horrific look. It was bad. I was absolutely the worst in creative writing.
Okay.
And so every time it was time to write a story, it was, the grade on it was, you would run. I mean, you could have bought Bolito with those grades from my creative writing. But that didn't stop me from always trying to scribble something, because I used to always still had a little book on the side that I would be writing my poems.
Wow.
And I would take those poems because I have a lot of feelings. And with my feelings, I need to project what I'm going, you know, what is going on. And so I would write these poems, and sometimes I would even try to sing the words into a tune. Listen, I would do absolutely anything possible with the bad writing that I had on those papers, just because I love to see a blank paper or my blank screen on my Word document go from absolutely nothing to me just staring at it to it become words, well, ideas, and then going from ideas to an entire production. And so the stages of my art, I enjoy watching from the blank paper, even when I have writer's block. Even that is a part of the process of my art.
Yep. And as we're sitting here, I'm getting excited because your art brings the joy outside of you.
Right.
You know, what's inside comes out. When you're singing, Miss Jemima, how do you feel?
I feel, I would say I usually use my talent to send a message across. So I am not able to preach or I'm not sure if I'm able to speak well, I don't know. But I can get a message across, and it's going to touch somebody's heart by the song that I sing, or the way that you sing it, or the way that you're passionate about it.
Okay.
So I also like Aislinn mentioned, she write, you put your, imagination. I write my thoughts. I like to journal as well. And everything that I would think about, I would just write out. And it does give you a sense of satisfaction.
Nice.
It feels really good.
So we're leaning more and more into the topic for this morning. And we're hearing already some of the benefits of what your art brings. Now, I know we've been mentioning the word monologue. We did it several times. Can you kindly explain to our viewer what is a monologue?
Okay, so a monologue is literally a dramatic play between one person. A person just literally talking to themselves. Wow. So it's like me looking into the mirror, having a conversation with myself.
So this takes place?
This takes place anywhere. Okay. It can be in front of the church. It can be in a room. It can be in the bathroom. It can be anywhere. And so what happened, the stage is set for just you and your thoughts. And what you're doing is acting out your thoughts.
Wow.
Interesting,
Amazing.
interesting. And this is basically what you see in the movies. And like this is the first phase of script writing, you know, and I'm pleased to know that we have this level of talent in our church. It's not one that we maybe gravitate to because it's not something that we're used to seeing, but like you said, everybody have a talent, everybody have their gift, everybody have something that, something that they're good at. And God blessed us with these talents so that we can be able to bless others. And these talents also bring some kind of relief mentally to us.
True. So
You know?
You know, I took that monologue to a different level, right? Because just recently, well, not a year, but a couple years ago, I got into the writing the 2 parts and the 3 parts poem, where it's not only one person, you know, we're used to one person giving a poem. No, well, I start doing the part where it's me and about 4 other people doing the same poem. But what happened, we have different voices in the poem. And so what you get to see is different, is one poem, but different voices saying exactly what we need to portray. So what you're getting is a feel of the 4 emotions together in one voice.
Wow. Did you do any schooling, any kind of...
Absolutely
This is just
none.
natural.
Absolutely none. Natural.
Wow. Likewise,
comes.
Miss
That is a
Jemima,
gift.
any
That is a gift.
vocal training, any just natural? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I have something here that I'd like to read. It says, creating art relieves stress. It encourages creative thinking, increased brain plasticity, and imparts other mental health benefits, and anyone can do art. Again, we want to repeat that art is not just painting. You know, we mentioned singing, we mentioned monologues, we mentioned the art of sculpting and, you know, cooking. You know, everybody has something that they're good at. The question is, what are you good at? What brings you joy? What brings you peace? What is it that you do when your mind is raging or it's all over the place? Miss Jemima sings. You know, I like to listen to music as well. That gives me, ease my stress, you know, it allows me to be balanced.
Yes.
Miss Aislinn writes. And these are things that we need to be tapping into, because a lot of people, when they're stressed, I know we had a discussion on stress management a few weeks ago, they find alternate things. They go out to the bar, or they
And
get
the
a
stress
cigarette
reliever.
and all of that. But there are things, or gifts God gives us that we can be using to help us to cope with whatever stress we're going through.
You know, in my counseling session with children, couple things that I always encourage them to do. One, I at first ask them, do you draw? Do you dance? Do you sing? Do you write? And if any of those are mentioned, I would encourage them to do more of it. Why? Because when you're able to express yourself in that manner, you get free. Because me writing gives me freedom. I am free. I am in my space. It's just me in it. And when I'm writing, my thoughts are rolling and my ideas are rolling. So I become free. This world and the suffering of this world become dim.
Pauses for
It
a while.
pauses, and all I am seeing is me and this paper. And so whenever I speak to a child, I would say, I ask them these questions, and if they answer me with any of those, I would encourage them. I encouraged one of them to, because she draws, and so I told her to paint something. And the other day she brought 2 paintings for me. And then when she was finished, she said, no, they're yours. And so I have 2 paintings that I got from a student because that was what she put her heart into. The others would journal. I encouraged them to journal. One I encouraged to sing, and so you would find her writing out songs, and so she would be singing, and then the other one, dancing is what she would find herself, and you lose yourself in it.
Of course. I
Absolutely.
mean, and, you know, these are the art that we encourage in our kids.
Right.
Why does it stop when we become adults? I want for us to linger a little bit on our children. I have 2 boys, as you may know, and one loves to draw. I have a plethora of Sonic pictures, and
but
now we're in the
he's
season
really
of
good at
Dragon
it.
Balls, Dragon Balls season. But I mean, it's important for us as parents to encourage our children in the arts. The math is good, and the science is good, and the Bible is good, but you know, there's a special something that your child do.
That is
whatever
something
it is.
that nobody will be able to take from them.
Yes. So whatever it is, as a parent, we encourage you to feed into it. You know, if he likes to draw, she likes to draw, I go and I buy the drawing pads.
Nice.
You know, it takes nothing off of me to purchase. I buy the drawing pads, I buy the pencil because that's what he's into.
Right.
You know, the little one, he's recorder, and so I buy the recorder. You know, and these are ways we can help our young people. These are ways we can help our children to grow and to develop and to express themselves in whatever field of art they find themselves in.
You know, art is, in doing art, it's the only thing that allows you to use your entire, I would say your entire functioning of your brain. And when you are able to use your entire functioning, you're at a peak, at a frequency where only you yourself can experience, because nobody else could feel what you're feeling when you're singing, or when you're singing. Nobody could understand what I am feeling when I am singing, when I am writing, and when I am doing a liturgical dance. Nobody can experience what I am experiencing. So when I use art, when I write, I use absolutely every functioning of my being to be able to create.
Wow.
Nice. This is a wonderful discussion that we've been having here, and you know, I've been learning so much. And as I'm sitting here, I'm reflecting on, you know, when I was much younger. I think I was in Sunday 6 at the time, and my dad asked me, what you wanted to be when you grew up, and I told him a singer, because at that time I was singing a lot, and I didn't get the perfect answer, because, you know, people feel that your art will not provide for you to eat.
Right.
You know, and so you're always steered away into going into being the teacher, the doctor, whatever, because those are the sure jobs. But
you know, that's limiting ourselves, because
That is.
because our country is maybe not the top tier for these type of art. We are going to shun our children away, but we need to remember that Belize is not the only country in this world. So we need to, even if your child say want to sing, right? Belize is all that we know. So we need to encourage your child, because Belize is not the only country to go and be able to express those talents that we have.
Exactly. And another thing we can add is that the church, you know, we also need, we are in need of all these artistic people.
Right.
Yes.
You know, the doctors are good and teachers are good, but who will create the programs? I know you create wonderful sunset programs, Sabbath school programs, even for ATN you create programs. Who will create the programs? A program is not a program without creativity.
Right.
It needs the art. It needs that person to see into the program.
True.
You know, it's beyond putting down who do the song service and by opening prayer and all of that.
It comes with a whole vision.
Of course, it comes with a vision, and that vision is what I see sometimes. I see the program from the beginning to the end when I'm sitting down and I'm brainstorming and the Lord is bringing ideas. it requires a level of creativity that is not always appreciated. Because like, you don't think this program, but you don't understand the person in the seat of the artistic seat sees beyond what you're seeing. It sees the full production.
You know, Chantel, if I had think about it in advance, I could have brought a recording of one of the girls doing the poem with the 4 parts. Because I sure have one tucked away somewhere.
And I'm sure we can edit it into this program here. So
if I had only thought about it, I could have pulled out a video to be able to have you guys see.
well, we will have a video for our viewers.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, as we're winding on this first half, I just want to share this little point here. It says, many who don't consider themselves to be gifted artistically feel that there is no point in creating art since they won't be satisfied with what you are born with. It's a gift. And a lot of times, parents and people on the outside see it in you. You don't see it in yourself. You know, and so when you see a person has a gift, it's important for you to share with that person. They might be in disbelief at the time because they're not confident in it as yet, or they don't recognize it in themselves as yet. But being able to tap into that art could give you a world of benefits, mental health benefits that you are able to use to help you to cope with things in life. Right? And so those benefits we'll hear more of when we come back from the break.
Are you on a health journey for the new year? Have you been looking for nutritious and delicious health food substitutes and cannot find it anywhere in town?
Well, we've got good news for you. Raquel Imports proudly presents a new Soya Pack line of products, which includes soy-based milk options and meat substitute, 100% caffeine-free corn coffee.
What?
Yes, you heard that right! 100% caffeine-free corn coffee and much more.
This can't get better than this!
These products are now available for immediate purchase at Raquel's Imports, located at 3A Street, Kings Park, Belize City, and coming soon to a store near you. Direct message our Facebook page or call us at 611-0601 for more details. Soya Pack, a healthier option for you.
Who am I? This is a question you have certainly asked yourself before. And while there are many ways to come to an answer, as Christians, we can always answer this question by simply affirming that we are members of God's family. Behold what manner of love the Father has bestowed on us, that we should be called children of God. At first glance, some people might argue that this kind of answer might be too easy. However, being called to be part of God's family holds much more meaning than it seems. God is not only the creator of everything, He is also the provider of everything we need. And while He graciously gives us all that we need, His greatest gift of all is His Son, Jesus. It's through Jesus' sacrifice that we find a sense of purpose and meaning to life. Being a member of God's family has far-reaching implications. As members of God's family, we should do more than love and obey the Creator. We must also share the privilege and responsibility of carrying out His will on earth. As family, there are no natural boundaries between us. This makes us daughters, sons, sisters, brothers, and stewards of the same heritage. In order to thrive in these roles assigned to us by Christ, He wisely left us instructions on how to properly carry out this mission. In Matthew 6:19, while talking to a rich young ruler, Jesus instructed him on how to best use his worldly means. If you want to be perfect, go sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come follow me. As members of God's family, we must also heed this instruction and invest in eternity. We must use our blessings to bless others and allow nothing to prevent anyone from following Jesus. After all, the real treasure is not our financial resources or goods here on earth, but the blessings that will come when God's family is reunited. God has created and redeemed us to be His stewards. So let's study the Bible daily and grow in together in God.
In the heart of America stands the Inter-American Division. It is comprised of all of Central America, the northern parts of South America, and the islands of the Caribbean Sea. What a great diversity fills each corner of this region. Flora, fauna, culture. The strength of our church in this territory is its 3,681,066 members filled with faith, hope, and courage. Our doors are always open. Meeting in 23,319 churches and congregations, large, small, outdoors, or online. It's amazing to know that God is present in each one of them. The Inter-American Division is comprised of 24 unions, divided into 156 local conferences. We spread the message through various means, including the 35 hospitals and clinics across the territory. In its 14 universities, many young people are trained daily to serve God in different professional fields. One theological seminar prepares pastors to serve the church membership and preach the gospel across Inter-America. This is a territory with millions of school-aged children. 790 primary and secondary schools deliver Adventist Christian education to 145,596 students through the dedicated labor of 9,879 teachers committed to serving God and humanity. 9 centers of influence work with creative ideas of evangelism to target various people groups. The gospel also travels by air and the internet. Messages of hope are shared 24/7 through television programs produced in 3 languages and through broadcast by more than 90 radio stations. The Inter-American Division is this and more. Every day, our church works to preach the gospel to more than 307 million residents across its territory.
Welcome back to our program for today. We are here on a wonderful topic. We're talking about art and mental health, its benefits. And so far we've been chatting a little bit on, different types of art and what kind of relief, mental relief it brings to the soul. We've been talking with our guests here, Miss Aislinn and Miss Jemima, my co-hosts for today, and we've been sharing a little bit about the things that God has blessed us with and how it creates joy within and allow us to bless others and as well help us mentally. Now, as we continue with our discussion, the question is, how does art relieve stress? I think we touched it a little bit. How does art relieve stress? How does singing relieve stress? Because singing is your art. Singing is your craft.
So there would be sometimes I would pick on Sundays if I'm at home. And I would take my speaker to the backyard and I just bless the neighborhood. and I would see whereby my neighbors would come out and I would ask them if I'm being too loud or anything. But they're like, no, they come out, cause sit down, call listen on their back veranda. But that is something that I do, and I used to be shy and whatever. But I just sing to the trees and whatever. Then I go back inside.
And it brings you peace.
Yes, it does.
It brings you peace. Let me tell you, when you're in your zone and you have your playlist set up and you're there just singing, man, you feel like you're with the angels.
Yeah.
You never understand if you're not a singer But if you're somebody who writes like Miss Aislinn, no, that's another level.
Yeah.
How does writing relieve your stress?
How does writing relieve my stress? Well, my thoughts, I don't get to have my thoughts lingering in my brain, so I don't internalize it. But I would take those thoughts that are, or the things that are stressing me, and I would write them out. I have a lot of journals, stocks of journals. I go through them because I am writing. I don't want to tell you no Ali secret, but I want to tell you no, I have a book on my a book on my laptop that I was working on, but then I stopped, and it just dead there. And so I have a book that I'm actually writing, but it's there, tucked away. I haven't touched it in a long time. But when I am in any, if I am happy, I write. If I am sad, I write. If I am excited, I write. I write because I do not want to leave it all in my head to go into my entire being to cause me to have worries and stress that will affect me physically, you know?
So the question is, do you paint? Do you sculpt? Do you draw? Do you like to take photographs? Another type of art? Do you like to, what do you like to do? I would like for you to put it in the comment section. It says here that these things can lower our stress level and leave us feeling mentally clear and calm. And I have experienced this clarity after tapping into my art. And I want for you as well to tap into your art. Find out what you're good at. What brings you joy? What's your passion? Tap into it so that when the stressful time comes around, you have that there as an avenue for you to channel, to use, to help you to cope with whatever stress. Creating art provides a distraction, giving your brain a break from your usual thoughts. I want for you ladies to linger on this a little bit. I want to read it again. It says, creating art provides a distraction, giving your brain a break from your usual thoughts. What are things we usually think about? We think about work, we think about children, we think about what we can cook, we think about what we can put on. But when you tap into your art, you are in your zone. You're in your zone.
I'm sitting here right now and I just think like, I just want to break from all the responsibilities.
Yeah.
The phone in my hand, my bill come in. We don't just pay our bill, like, I just want to break from all of this. And that is when I would pause and just relax and just let it out. Whether it's writing, like Aislinn says she has journals. I thought I was the only one who has.
All right.
Who has
so
journals.
Now we see both of you have something in common.
I would write. It's not necessarily thoughts, but after I've learned something, a valid life lesson, I would write it down so that I know where this had me, where I am now, and where I'm going.
Yeah.
So I would write lessons like that, and I feel like because it's something I need to share to somebody to have them avoid the road that I took, I would jot it down because someday I'll share it with somebody.
Of course. And for somebody who plays music, I know you sing, but for somebody who plays piano, I would look at, like, for example, Davin. Man, when Davin is playing it so classically, he's there, he's in his zone.
Yeah.
He's in his zone. Like, that music just takes him to another world.
It does.
And again, I want to echo that these are talents God gave us, because he knew we would have needed them sometime to help us to get along this rough, rugged road we face here on earth, and, they always come in, that gift always come in at the perfect time that we can use to take our mind away from this world, no?
I believe if God gave it to us, it was a necessity. Because why would he create singing if he didn't want us to use it?
Right.
Why would he give us the talent for writing if he didn't want us to use it? Why would he give us the talent of speaking if he didn't want us to use it. I mean, sometimes I understand that people don't see my writing as a talent, or they won't see speaking as a talent, but they would just look at the playing a piano, playing an instrument, or singing as a talent. Well, because they weren't taught. Will expand to think differently.
That is so true.
And not anybody can stand in front and give you a speech without even scribbling something on a paper. Not anybody can do that. Not anybody can create a program and execute it in such a perfection, with such perfection, if there wasn't a talent.
I want to go even a little further, not to cut you across, but not anybody could put together a program that brings you to tears.
Right.
You know, or bring you to the feet of Jesus.
Right.
You know, I know it takes the Holy Spirit to help with that part, but you know you have made your impact when the person leaves and there's a change.
Right.
You know, and that's the kind of impact your talent have. That's the kind of impact your talent can create, and I feel like that's why a lot of times the enemy tries to hush your talent.
Right.
Because he knows the power of your talent. He knows the power of your art, the power of your craft, you know, that goes beyond just what the person is seeing, you know?
You know, year after year, writing the sunset service for our church, it is absolutely amazing to see the difference in the programs.
Oh, it progresses.
Right, and it's always to be able to tap my own self. How do I tap myself next year? How do I do differently? And then the next year it's not as extravagant as it was the year before. And then next year you try to figure out how to do it even better. And so it's always a competition with yourself. Having a competition with yourself is the worst thing to try and do, because
be the only competition,
right,
though.
because it's to find the words, but not really and truly putting words together and playing with words is such a hard task.
It's
to
not
do.
as easy as it seems.
Right. And I didn't like to read. And I realized that for me to develop this talent of mine, I had to sit down and learn how to read. And I don't mean learn how to read like reading, like literate, the literacy, but it's like literally learn to sit down and read a book and finish the book, close it, and say, okay, I'm working on another book to read. Right now, I've gotten to the listening to the audio of the book, so I can speed up the process of the book. I'm listening to a 5-part book right now. I think I'm at book 3. You talking, I will sit there and I will literally listen. I will listen to your words, how you put the words together. You saying something or you writing something, I would sit there and I will literally scan through your words. I'm going to, so sometimes I lose what you're saying because I am literally
You're so
listening.
focused.
Right, I am listening to how you put your words together, because then I'm going to see how I can play with all the words that we said together and put them on paper.
Nice. And that's an extraordinary gift, I'd say, because like you said, not anybody can do that.
Right.
You know, and especially if you haven't gone to school for it. You know, we have people who write movies who have gone to schools and, you know, been in trainings, and it's, they don't just sit down and write a movie takes years to write. You know, so if you have that talent, then you must say praise God for that. Creating art trains you to concentrate on details and pay more attention to your environment. So if you feel like that you're a person who maybe might be all over the place, you're not focused, your craft, your art helps you to concentrate, and pay attention to details.
It does. You mentioned about going to school and things like that. In this part of the semester, we are currently doing scripts and things like that. So I didn't do too well on my script, but the drama part, I slayed that. So I was able to make up for the fact that I didn't write well, and I did well in the drama. So my teacher, she was explaining to us that not everybody has the talent to write. Not everybody has the talent to act, because there are students who went to act and they were so shy. But for me, that's just why I couldn't make myself a little bit more. So it came natural for me. It became natural. And indeed, not everybody, it seems as if you are able to just get a pen and a paper and write. But it's easier said than done.
It is. But I am happy that we're able to express ourselves in this way through this program. And I pray that our viewers, appreciate this program today. It's a bit different from what we usually do. But the whole thought of art, is a blessing from God, because you're not just doing one thing forever. You do different types of things. God bless you with different types of gifts. Gifts to help that are there to help other people.
Yes.
Because the monologues you write, they're not just there for you to say, oh, I wrote a monologue. It has a message. Right. The songs you sing has a message. And so the monologues you write and whoever you get to orate or to share, that message is brought across through the presentation. Right. When you sing with confidence, and the message is brought across in the way you're projecting your voice and the words of the song. Now I want to ask Ms. Jemima a question. Ms. Jemima says she writes. Have you ever thought about writing a song?
No,
Writing your own music?
I cannot write a song.
Okay.
I've tried. I cannot.
Maybe this is not the time, the season as yet.
I cannot write a song. I've
Okay.
tried so many times.
Have you ever started with your story
Like writing my story? Yes. Yes.
and then turn it into a song?
No.
That's how
I
songs are
don't
written.
know if I could write a song. It sounds
I think
weird.
I think maybe you're overthinking it.
Maybe.
I think I would write a book before I could write a song. For real.
Art creates creative thinking. Art encourages creative thinking. It encourages creative thinking. Can you imagine a child without art?
Boring.
Can you imagine a child who loves to dance? Not being able to dance?
Poor thing.
That's how he or she expresses themselves.
Maybe we should ask Shamar that question.
My little one loves to dance, but that's how he expresses himself. And when we say dance, we don't mean no vulgar nothing. Right. Just artistic dancing. You have people who dance and it's like they're floating, they're telling a story with how they dance.
See, and again, I can't even move a limb. Not everybody could do it. So these things, I find them so amazing. Again, like, we go right back to God. Like, how is it that you bless me with this? Or how did you bless her with that? He is so amazing, and he didn't give everybody the same thing. And to me, that is great.
Yep. I love this point in the reading here. It says, art encourages creative thinking and lets you come up with your own unique solutions that is unique to you.
Yeah.
Imagine if God made all the flowers the same color. Even God has art.
This is what
Even
I'm
he
saying.
is artistic.
This
This
is
is why
boring.
he puts these type of art into
It would
us.
have been basic, and to me, there is nothing basic about God.
Yes.
Or
So-
what he has created.
Yep. So as promised, we have a clip that we will share at the end of this program, a part of Miss Aislinn's monologue. But ladies, as we're wrapping up the program for today, what's your takeaway? I mean, this program is not one of our normal program we would do, but I thought it would be a very, very good discussion for us to tap into a little bit of the arts and the benefits of it to our mental health. What's your takeaway? What is it you'd want for our viewers to leave with?
It might not be the normal program that you do on the show, but it's a part because I asked my students them while I was doing life skills class, I said, what is it that you absolutely love to do? Because what you absolutely love to do is what will take you through when you are feeling down, when you're feeling the sense of, like there's a sense of depression, when you're feeling like anxiety is creeping upon you, when you're in a traumatic moment where you feel like you cannot escape. The thing that you absolutely love the most is the thing that will help you to get through. And so it might not seem as if though it is the normal, but is a part of the mental health mechanism, the coping mechanism that you need in order to be able to help you through your daily life. Because if I am sad, I write. Writing is what I absolutely love to do. I write because when I'm sad, I need to release my thoughts. And this is a form of how
That is so true. I appreciate that. Tap into it more often. Try to find what is it that makes you feel the absolute best when you're feeling the absolute worst, I would say. Sometimes it takes not you knowing how to do it, but because not all the time I want to sing. There are times I want to hear somebody else sing. I would like to go to karaoke, but we don't find all the best singers there. So for me, it would be the song service in church. I look forward to that. I look forward to the specials, and I would listen to the words of these songs, like, who wrote these things? You know, like, people are amazing, and we are amazing because God created us.
Definite. And I want to go back to the hymnal. The songs in the hymnal, if we didn't have people who were sitting down, sharing their stories through these songs, every one of those hymns is a backstory, writing those stories, you know, and here we are singing them year in, year out. The Bible, when you read the Psalms, when you read the Proverbs, some people that are what are script writers and playwriters and all of those talents are right there. And here we are today, 100 years later, reading these scriptures, and they're making powerful impact in our lives.
Yep.
Don't give up on your talent.
You know, Chantal, I cannot allow us to leave without giving you my favorite quote, and I have it on my Instagram page. I have life coach, then I have my motto, and that is, imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than to be absolutely boring.
Okay.
And so that is what my art does for me. It makes me look absolutely ridiculous, but it is better for me to be like that than to be boring.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or basic again. There's
Right.
something I listened to this morning. And I remember when school first started, the lecturers, they walk in and they just start. I'm like, something is missing. Nobody pray, you know, and it was so weird for me. But everywhere I go, people are able to tell that you're different. And for me, that speaks volume because I consider myself a child of God, and there is nothing basic about what God is doing through me or what God has created. So it is better to be ridiculous. Allow them to say that. But we're not basic and we're not boring.
That's right.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's how you get it here on Defining Your Health. If I feel like we had a little Bible study more in some parts, but I mean, on Defining Your Health, we're a Christian, and this is a Christian TV network, and so we believe 100% in the Bible, in God, and, you know, the benefits of health. God wants us to be in our best, to our best capacity. He wants us to be in our best health. And so we offer programs that will help you to be your best physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, emotionally, and, all the others, And so we're happy that we were able to bring across this program to you today. To my guest, Ms. Aislinn Murrillo, thank you so much for taking out the time and joining us. Ms. Jemima as well for sharing all those lovely points. And to you, our viewers, for staying with us to the end, we thank you so much for joining us here for another episode of Defining Your Health. Do enjoy this monologue.
Jesus said, "And this gospel shall be preached to all the world, and then the end shall come." Here at ATN, we consider it a wonderful privilege to provide you, our viewers, with wholesome programs to enrich and bless your souls. However, all of this is only possible because of your generous donations. We pause at this moment to ask you for your financial support to continue this great work entrusted to us by God. If you would like to become one of our monthly donors, please call us at 613-9351 or email us at atnfin@cbm.belizeunion.org. We sincerely thank you for your commitment, and may the Lord richly bless and keep you.